Now, listen, you guys. One thing about it is that Nicki Minaj will always be vindicated. It can take years, it can take months, but one thing about it, the truth will always come to light. Because tell me why Lottery Ticket is now all of a sudden comfortable mentioning Nicki Minaj's name, in interviews when a couple of weeks ago she was just, oh, shorty. I put that in quotes. We're going to be talking about her sadly subbing back at Advocate BBL, as well as people calling the double standards in as far as working with Chris Brown is concerned. I mean, our favorite cousin Sloth is out there working with Chris Brown. We're going to be discussing about that as well, and we're also going to be talking about Doja Cat's debut, and of course the article that they are putting out concerning Advocate BBL's pregnancy and how ridiculous it sounds. Hello, tea lovers, and welcome to the Tea Plug. I trust you guys are doing well, and I trust you are doing great. I trust you also had an amazing weekend. I mean, I was taking a break yesterday if you guys didn't see me post anything, but nonetheless, welcome, welcome. And let's dive straight into today's tea.
Yay Ho on Twitter wants to know, Latto, who is your Mount Rushmore of female rap? So who are your 4 female rap artists?
Me.
Okay.
Nicki, Cardi. Dang, 4.
Can't think of a 4th.
I mean, it's like I have to put Kim, but I love a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like I don't want it to sound too cliche, but like if it's 4, it's me, Kim, Nicki, Cardi. And
So, first of all, let's talk about Lottery Ticket and her seemingly now being comfortable mentioning Nicki's name in interviews, okay? Now, you guys, Lottery Ticket set for an interview with Andy, and of course, Giselle was there, and they were talking about the beefs, and they ended up asking her what her Mount Rushmore is. This is the same Latto, mind you, who was out there a couple of weeks or months ago saying that, oh, shorty, not mentioning Nicki's name, but now all of a sudden you're comfortable mentioning her name. And I'm just looking at her like, ma'am, what are you doing? And for someone who went that far disrespecting someone's family first, you're just looking at they like, what did you think was going to happen? You took it too far and you know it, okay? So she ended up mentioning Lil Kim, Nicki Minaj. Mind you, Nicki Minaj way before, her favorite Advocate BBL, okay? She actually did say initially, it's me, referring to herself. And then she said Nicki Minaj. And then she said Advocate BBL. And then she said Lil Kim. And this is the part that irks me with the girls, okay? When it comes to Lil Kim, she's always like an afterthought. Like she's an afterthought. As long as they haven't gotten into it with Nicki Minaj and are still hoping for a feature, it's never about Lil Kim. We don't see the respect. As soon as they fall out with Nicki Minaj, all of a sudden everyone wants to claim Lil Kim. And Lil Kim herself eats that ish up. I guess she's desperate for some form of mention, or she's still waiting for, I don't know what she's waiting for, but at this point, I would tell this girl is leave me alone because they never give her that respect, okay? They don't give her the respect that they claim to do once they fall out with Nicki Minaj. That being said, the fact that she even mentioned Nicki Minaj before her favorite advocate BBL is insane to me because, like I said, she was out there calling her shorty, all of these things. And when we actually track back to the beef to see what Nikki did that warranted her to go off like that is still, I'm just like, since when did you start lacking comprehension skills? Because when I do look at slow people, when I count slow people that I've seen, I wouldn't put lottery ticket on the same level with advocate BBO in terms of like being smart, in terms of being able to comprehend. Which makes me wonder if there's someone who lacks comprehension that ended up, gassing her up to say she's coming for you, go and record her calls, drag her family into this, and all this over the fact that Nicki Minaj was comparing songs that should be categorized in the same category at the Grammys. If anything, she was just saying to the Grammys, be fair, because this type of a song is not being, classified in this category, and I do feel like that song is similar to my song in terms of categories. She didn't say that your song doesn't sound nice. She used it as an example to say, you guys are not being fair. If this song can be called hip hop, so can Super Freaky Girl. So tell me, what about that would make someone go so low as to, oh my God, you're jealous of me, leave me out of it, your husband this, your brother this. She went too far. Like, it was almost like someone was been waiting for a moment to pop off on Nicki Minaj. For what exactly? I absolutely don't know. And why Nicki Minaj would be jealous of her, I also still don't know up to now. This is the part that I don't understand. She's not even in the top three as far as selling is concerned. In as far as talent is concerned as well, she cannot even stick to a personality. She can't stick to a person. She can't even pick what flow to go with. She's switching. One day she's sounding like this person. One day it's Rennie Rucci. The next day it's Lottery Ticket. The next day it's Nicki Minaj. She cannot keep up with any personality. So why would Nicki Minaj be jealous of that? But you know who thinks Nicki's jealous of her? It's Advocate BBL, which makes me feel like behind the scenes she was getting gassed up by Advocate BBL and probably being made to believe that Nicki was taking a dig at you because she compared her song to yours. And it later came out that Nicki had, denied being on that song of hers with Mariah Carey because Nicki and Mariah have got their own issues that have got nothing to do with you. So it's rather selfish for her to say that how dare you deny to be on that song and you should have been on that song when she's telling you it's not about her. She felt like the song was perfect on its own. So, I mean, it seems like these girls have got certain standards for Nicki Minaj and different standards for any other female rappers. It's like they want to utilize the H train and the fact that, people and boss don't like Nicki Minaj. They want to manipulate her into working with them. And as soon as she denies, they look for a reason to be out there fighting with her publicly. Like, it's weird to me. But anyway, that being said, she also spoke about her relationship with Ice Spice and how they ended up mending the beef and stuff like that. And yeah, she said that their teams reached out to each other and they squashed it and stuff like that. And she said at the beginning, I was like, no. And then later, I was like, yeah. But when we look at it, actually, with you interacting and the body languages, it seems like Ice Spice is out there being the it girl, being the girl, and you're out there trying to be cool together with her. That's how it looks each time that she's hanging or she's being spotted together with Paprika Spice. Unfortunately, I don't know what it is about her. Because from her body language, you could have sworn that she's the one who reached out to Ice Spice because she tries so hard and Ice Spice is just so nonchalant. I don't know if you see what I'm talking about. So is it she just gives off groupie energy or what's up with that? But anyway, that being said, they also brought out the fact that, well, would you like to, make things up with Nicki Minaj to patch things up? And she was like, oh, yeah, I mean, we'll see. And then Giselle, she doesn't play about Nicki Minaj. She was like, we love Nicki Minaj. And she said, I did too. And people are taking that to be shade. But personally, I do feel like she kind of knows that she went to a point of no return. She did with the recording conversations, with everything. She did too much, way too much. And the GP, I say that in quotes, who are really just bots, might have made her for a moment believe that, well, people were on her side. But in reality, when you walk around Hollywood and you're the one who's out there recording private conversations, other celebrities will not respect you. Really, not everyone is going to respect you for recording private conversations and bringing them to the internet and then realizing that in the conversations you didn't even understand what you were talking about. She made a fool out of herself. And I feel like she was getting pillow talked to back in the scenes. And I've seen signs that whoever was pillow talking her lacks comprehension skills, is not calculative, and is delusional. And one person I can only think about who has those three qualities, I'm sorry, is Advocate BBL. That's why she had to make pretend and be, fake friends with Advocate BBL. She thought it was gonna get under Nicki Minaj's skin, went on an entire tour talking about all Nicki does the Coca-Cola and all of these things. And you see, their insults are always the same. It's always the same recycled ish that was being used during the H train. Because I mean, if you guys really did shame Coca-Cola users, like you want to say, you wouldn't be with a lot of the men that you are with. Because really, I mean, I mean. So at the end of the day, it's the same recycled ish they are hoping to stick, and they are hoping that the H chain will happen again. Now, still speaking about lottery ticket, on stage she was out there shouting out hoo-ha, hoo-ha. Okay, if you're new here, the hoo-ha refers to the P word, okay? The one that was used against her by her friend advocate BBL. Like, she said that she's PA lottery ticket, okay, PA Latto. So that's the hoo-ha. So when she was singing her song, put it on the floor, which the remix has advocate BBL, she kept on shouting hoo-ha, 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 and I'm like, what are you saying? This time you're not recording phone calls. I mean, I was expecting you to come online and call her boshed, at least. I mean, the same energy that you gave Nicki when she didn't directly do anything for you. But when it comes to someone who actually called you who are behind Latto, you're not. You're just gonna shout hoo-ha in the midst of a song. It was ridiculous to watch, you guys. I was like, what is she saying? Say it with your chest. You're scared. So you only have that energy for Nicki Minaj, someone you grew up looking up to, just because she refused to be on your song with someone that she doesn't get along with? The entitlement is insane. And when it comes to someone who actually did say something to you, you're just gonna hop on the stage on a song that you did together and shout hoo-ha continuously. Like lottery, at some point. I mean, at some point you've gotta be sane. Okay, I mean, I'm making excuses for you right here to say that you were manipulated behind the scenes with someone who has low IQ to go against Nicki Minaj the way that you did. But now I'm beginning to think that was all you. Because right now it's giving low IQ energy. It's literally giving low IQ energy. You cannot have all that smoke for Nicki who didn't really insult you technically, but nothing for the person who was calling you a who are behind for not fighting Ice Spice. And then you go out and make up with Ice Spice. Oh my God, this is a disaster. This is a disaster. We need help. Let me know in the comment section, you guys, what you think about that. Do you think that that was a comeback to advocate BBL, or what do you think that was? Because Latto is now just a weird edge all to me.
Let me just hit Latto with the
Okay.
with the number one
scared of you,
question
Andrew.
from King of Hot Topics on Twitter. Love seeing you and Ice Spice make peace. How did it happen, and will you be able to work things out with Nicki Minaj too?
Okay, one at a time.
Yeah.
First one, girls, her team reached out to my team and we was like,
The teams.
yeah,
And you figured it out.
we figured it out.
Okay.
At first I was like,
Okay.
but then I was like,
Okay.
and
Good.
then, yeah, I'm open to, rekindling with anybody.
Okay. You and Nicki you're gonna be back with Giselle's friend Nicki.
Yes, we love Nicki. We do.
I did too.
You do? Okay.
Okay. Oh,
Moving on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about. Let's talk about Glorilla, okay? Let's talk about our favorite cousin Sloth. So Cousin Sloth was out there performing with Chris Brown at the Breezy Bowl, and people started a conversation. Because you do know that everybody that works with Chris Brown, if you're not liked by the GP, at this point when you hear me saying the GP, I just mean the botted Twitter accounts. That's what I mean. It's the Twitter bots that I call the GP because that's what people think the GP is, okay? They don't realize that, it's not even a quarter of the world's population that's on Twitter. But anyway, that being said, that are active on Twitter, okay? So that being said, you guys, The moral police is always crucifying everybody who works with Chris Brown. But this time it was their favorite cousin, obviously, cousin Sloth. I'm talking about Glorilla, okay? She was out there performing with Chris Brown, and we didn't hear any backlash from the moral police. You know, those accounts that are known to hold celebrities accountable, I put that in quotes because they only hold the celebrities that they don't like accountable, okay? The activism is quite performative, and they didn't say anything about cousin Sloth working with Chris Brown. So people were like, wait a minute, I thought it was a problem for people to work with Chris Brown. We saw the backlash with Kiki Palmer. I mean, Nicki also saw the backlash when she worked with Chris Brown, despite Rihanna having worked with him even after their incident. A lot of people they really don't like, they tend to crucify forever working with that man. But when it comes to our favorite cousin, Cousin Sloth, it was all praise and all beautiful. Oh, look how she moves like Megan. Oh my God. And this is for the Twitter moral police. So is it really about people being morally upright, or they wait for moments to use to make sure that an artist is dragged? Whoever they deem unlikable, they will wait for you to do something and then they will come for you. Because with Cousin Sloth, it was nothing but praise. And to top it off, Cousin Sloth and Bongo 2, I mean, when Cousin Sloth first came on the scene, they toured together with Bongo 2, and they were calling each other besties and all of these things. And at the end of the day, Chris Brown is out there very much pro Tory, and allegedly even paying some fees for Tory lanes, and some legal fees. And some people are like, okay, so what does this mean? If you're friends with Bongo Chu and you're out there hanging with Chris Brown, who's pro Tory, what's going on? When this is the same stuff that got the baby in trouble. The baby got in trouble because he was still cool with Tory lanes despite everything that went down. And when it comes to Cousin Sloth, we're not hearing you guys having the same conversation. What is actually going on? Do you guys actually stand for anything, or what? So personally, like I will always say, it's never about the morals. It's just that they don't like you. That's just how the human nature is like. It's never about the morals. If they don't like you, that's when they will expect you to be morally upright. If they like you, you can get away with anything. You could even be caught holding something, an object, to come at a child, and they won't say anything. That's how effed up we are as the human species, really. It's rather sad when you look at it, okay? And you wonder why we get the leaders that we get. Country after country, people crying, oh my God, he's so wicked. How could he do something like this? How could people vote someone like this? Exactly. It starts in the small things. Small things like not sticking to principles, not having any fairness in your mind. But then you get shocked when you get certain presidents. Yeah, that's what you deserve, because that's what you mirror. That's exactly what's in our communities today. But because it's being done by people you do not like, you do not care. And that's one thing that I just don't understand. It's okay to not like someone, but fair is fair. But anyway, let's move on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about. Let's talk about Matlamini's debut, Doja Cat. Okay, it's actually being reported that her song sold 57K units in the first week, and it debuted at number 4 on the Billboard 200, and 57K Matlamini. I mean, I get it. People say the rollout wasn't good. And people also say that, well, everything that was going down during last week was out there kind of deflecting people from buying and streaming your album. But a part of me heavily believes that it is Spotify that affected her like this. It is Spotify that affected her like this. And I don't know if I should sympathize with her, because if you really indeed was benefiting from some crooked Spotify thing going on, then I'm sorry. The truth has to reside. I can't sympathize with that. If really it was because you were benefiting off the unfair standards of Spotify that they had previously, then it is what it is, mama. Work harder next time. Moving on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about. Speaking about debuts, let us talk about Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is projected to debut with 3 million units. Yes, 3 million units. That's what Taylor Swift is projected to debut with. And people are shocked by the numbers. You know that the Beehive and, the Swifties have always had a thing going on where they feel like the two are rivals. And at this point, I'm sorry, Beyonce is not Taylor's rival. I'm sorry. Taylor, I mean, she's not Taylor's rival. With these numbers, I'm sorry, she cannot be her rival. It's it's incomparable. And the Babs, they do not miss an opportunity to be messy, okay? Because they were now saying that, well, this is the reason why Beyonce fans want their favorite to be compared to a rapper so that they can feel good because she cannot be compared with her peers, the Taylor Swifts, the Rihannas, and stuff when it comes to actually, numbers. So, they started going back and forth with the Beehive, basically saying, you see what other singing artists are out there doing, so you better chase those numbers and stop chasing female rap numbers to make yourself feel great. So I don't know, you guys, let me know in the comment section, do you think that Beyonce and Taylor is a good comparison, given that the other one is YT? Because we do love Taylor, but are we going to act like, well, there's no some form of privilege in as far as her being YT is concerned? I mean, let's be honest. But anyway, that also being said, people opened up a conversation of why artists never really seem to sell, in the millions when they have millions of followers. And people were like, okay, it always shocks us that artists that have hundreds and millions of followers are not able to crack even a million. And this is what we say to you, that in as far as Twitter likes, in as far as followers are great, at the end of the day, it comes down to real people. It doesn't even matter how many botted followers you have. Like, you can have lots of followers within just a blink of an eye. If you think I'm joking, go and play or ask the Indians. They will tell you. And I say that, I don't say that in a like condescending manner, by the way. I say them like because they're smart. Those guys are very smart, okay? And they will create for you. If you want a million followers, they will give you within a snap of a finger like this. But does that equate to people who actually buy your music or who are actually interested in your music? Absolutely not. This is why you see that the so-called GP and what's on the ground when it comes to selling albums, it doesn't tally. To the point where people start resorting to buying their own albums just to get to a certain number. Because on the internet, they have portrayed this whole thing of being big using bots. I mean, you look at their likes and you look at their likes when they're being messy, when they are, going back and forth with someone, and then you look at their likes when they post about their music, and it's not the same. It's not the same, because in their hands, in their minds, they feel like seemingly getting support when I'm arguing will make me likable. To some people who don't have backbone or a mind of their own, they will say, oh wow, because this post has got a lot of likes, it should mean that it's cool to like this person, and off they go supporting that person without any actual reasoning behind it, but just because it seems like she's popular because she has a lot of likes. There are a lot of you like that actually in the comment section. Like, you have a mind of your own, but each time someone says the T plug, I think you're wrong. You go with that because you're going off. You can literally watch the video from the beginning to the end and not have an issue whatsoever. But if one person goes and says, I don't think that you were correct about this, there you go now. Groupthink. It's basically groupthink. And that's what happens with a lot of these artists. They capitalize off of that to the point where now, because they want to be in some form of contest for popularity and likability, they will bot the behind out of their accounts. And then when the time comes and people expect them to do more, the bots are nowhere to be found because bots are not real people. But anyway, that being said, I didn't want to make this video long. I mean, you know what it is. It is a Sunday, so it means that it's a Monday, I'm sorry. So it means that we are back with a bang. Until my next one, see you.